All right, Dave Price, thank you, sir. We're going to turn out to the Tri-State's road to recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. Today, New York marked 400,000 confirmed cases. Yesterday, there were 8 deaths across the state, and the percentage of positive tests was just over 1%. Nursing homes in New York can now allow visitors again, but only if facilities have not had a COVID case for at least 4 weeks. Visits are limited to 2 people per resident. You must have your temperature checked, and you have to wear a face covering when you're doing your visit. Also today, malls were allowed to reopen their doors to shoppers the first time in 4 months. This is only in the regions that have reached phase 4, which is pretty much the entire state of New York, except for the 5 boroughs. News 4's Ken Buffa has been talking to shoppers all day at the Palisades Center. Ken, how's the shopping going today?
Well, I can't believe it. It is July 10th, and I'm inside of a mall that is actually open. And this mall is important. 5,000 people work at this mall. And as you can see behind me, shoppers are enjoying this while still being safe.
Shoppers are back inside the Palisades Center Mall for the first time since March.
I'm super excited. We've been closed for 5 months. The wait is finally over.
I'm excited.
The state lifting the ban on mall shopping in phase 4 regions, provided they have high-efficiency ventilation systems that can help reduce the spread of COVID-19. Here at the Palisades, sanitation stations, traffic arrows, and even spray downs of contact points are all being used to ensure safety.
The chemical they use is actually a very green product, but it kills the virus, and it's sprayed onto all the high-touch traffic areas, railings, escalators, elevators, to keep them clean and sanitized.
Safety first and people always.
The mall houses more than 225 businesses and employs nearly 5,000 people.
So this is success for everybody.
And as long as shoppers and owners are safe, they believe brighter days are ahead.
Happy that we can try to return to some kind of normalcy, but nervous that people won't follow the rules and will create a bigger problem.
And a lot of shoppers have come here. They've seen the hand sanitizer. They've been using that, keeping their masks on. The only complaint is not all the stores are open. So if you're going to head out, make sure you call to see if your store is open, because they might still need a couple of days. We're at the Palisades Mall. Ken Buffa, News 4 New York.
All right, Ken, good to see things opening up there and the mask being worn behind you. Well, a top city doctor doesn't believe that herd immunity was a factor in decreasing the cases of coronavirus here in our area. Herd immunity means that a large portion of the community is immune, which would make the spread of the disease less likely. Now, New York City is seeing a consistent downward trend in cases since reopening. That's just by dozens of other states in the U.S. seeing a spike. Mayor de Blasio and his senior public health advisor are giving credit to New Yorkers for keeping the numbers down. They cited social distancing, masks, good hygiene, and a rise in testing and tracing.
I think that immunity is a very unlikely explanation for this, because we know that the vast majority of New Yorkers actually weren't infected. And so we're not nearly at a level where we would expect that immunity would play a major role in decreasing transmission.
Now, in terms of daily indicators, the city's latest numbers show a 2% infection rate.
The state of New Jersey confirmed 367 new cases of coronavirus today, but this is a big week at a New Jersey hospital that saw a flood of those cases during the peak of the pandemic. Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck had no coronavirus patients for 3 days this week. At the height of the pandemic, they were treating 250 patients a day.
Shows that we've sort of come down on the curve. If you do the right things in the community, if you socially distance, if you wear masks, you can come down the curve and get down to zero.
Well, back in April, Holy Name had to modify spaces inside the hospital just to accommodate more of those critical care patients that were coming in. Doctors treated more than 5,000 COVID patients over the past few months. And another big sign of progress in Connecticut. Today, Governor Ned Lamont announced there were no COVID-related deaths across the entire state yesterday. It's the second time it's happened this week. Hospitalizations have ticked up for the last 3 days, but the state's positive rate still hovering right around that 1% mark, among the lowest in the country.
Now, Governor Cuomo is reaching out to help Florida through its spike in cases recently. New York will now send the drug remdesivir to Florida. That medicine, you'll remember, might reduce deaths, and it appears to work better in certain patients. That shipment will arrive tomorrow, and it should help care for 280 patients. It should tide the state over until a federal shipment arrives there. Florida officials reported more than 11,000 new cases of the virus just today. So that brings the state total to more than 244,000, with 93 new deaths as well. Well, despite the rising cases, part of Disney World in Orlando is reopening. The Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom will start welcoming guests tomorrow. And like with everything now, you're going to see changes. Besides the mask wearing, visitors can't get close, those up-close meet and greet sessions with the characters. And to prevent more crowding, there will not be any fireworks shows or parades.
President Trump didn't let the virus spike in Florida stop him from making a visit to the Sunshine State today. He flew to Miami to visit Southern Command, which oversees U.S. military services in Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, before leaving the White House, the president did acknowledge Tropical Storm Faye and the path heading here towards the tri-state.
Tropical Storm Faye is probably going to be hitting a place called New Jersey, a good place, pretty soon. So we are on the watch. We're fully prepared. FEMA's ready.
Just after that comment, the president decided to postpone a rally in New Hampshire that was scheduled for tomorrow. The White House press secretary told reporters that the event will be delayed possibly a week or two.